Okay, this is probably extreme OCD, but like these markers are driving me nuts because they're not organized. I tried to match color names, but there's no official list, and the list that I found, the colors in the graphic don't even resemble these colors here. So my OCD-esque kind of self has decided to do a new system. I have organized according to some of the Copic markers organizations. So we have warm gray, cool gray, flesh tones, and then I move into pink, reddish purple, red, gold, earth tones, purples, blue, teal, and then I've got a blue-green, and this is my contribution to society. You see this here? This will make sense in 2 seconds. Okay, so once I got things labeled, I didn't want to break up my groups because it'd be hard to find a pen when you need, or a marker when you need it. So what I did is I basically made a key. So it's like, if I pull one marker, right? Okay, that's teal too. So I know I have a whole group called teal, and I have marked this with 2 tick marks on either side. Now, if I look in my bag, I can grab anything with the 2 tick marks on either side, and I know that that's the teal group. Here's another one, 4 dots in a row. I can already look at this color and know that's going to be the blue-green group, which includes mint. And then I can grab my whole section, anything I want, really easily. So again, this is my key. So warm gray is just a single, cool gray, 1 on each side, flesh tone is 2 tick marks, yellow and orange is 1, earth is 4, kind of like, you know, the cross or compass rose, so that's how I remember that one. I did a couple that are just nothing, like pink and warm purple, and also blue, like you wouldn't be able to confuse those. Cool purple is 3, there's not many of those. It's kind of a little specialty color. Teal, as I said, is the 4 tick marks. Blue-green is 4, which really pops out, and then yellow-green is this big wide section there. Here's one. So yeah, that's my way to have a whole mess of colors which aren't technically sorted into color groups, but they're still sorted into color groups. My other contribution to society is a work in progress. So I am doing a single page, so everything fits on one page with my little designations abbreviated. But the thing I'm doing, and that's what all this is from, and these scissors are for, is I made, oh, by the way, Sharpie to label these. But because Sharpie wears off, I have put tape over top of the text. That one's really messy looking, but yeah, over top of the text so that it's not going to wear off. Even if you put it in one of those pencil cases with the elastic, it's not going to wear off. This will save headache, frustration, and yeah. You appreciate it once you realize once it's happened to you before. Prevention is the first step to sanity. So I made these little squares on this side, and I'm cutting them out and then taping it on the marker. And again, this sounds wildly OCD, but the reason being is you don't necessarily have to dip into your color chart. You can just look at your markers and devise color palettes based on putting markers together. So I could like jump in here and pick some like, you know, green, and I'll pick a yellow. And I'm like, okay, I want to do these colors, but what gray is gonna look good? And just pretend those are color swatches. Let's see. I could go with this light one. And that's like a very energetic mood. But this gray one, like those colors all pop together. So then maybe I pick that one. So yeah, it's a tool to make color palette selection easier. And it doesn't take very long, and you just pop another piece of tape on there. And so your finished marker has both the category name and number. See, it's basically going light to dark, even though grays are so funky. That one's kind of like yellowish, but it's generally a cool gray. One of these is supposed to be black, but they lie. Neither of these is actually a true black, so I would get black from probably my Tombow marker, which I don't have out at the moment, but trust me, those are not super black. So yeah, finished marker is going to have the name and the color, and with that, your sanity is maintained. Okay, so what I'm using is this book called Memsing or something like that. It's actually a really nice quality. I got it at a local art shop, and I love this bright yellow. It's like a school bus yellow, actually. It's a little bit faded here, but yeah, the paper is just super smooth. Like amazingly smooth, good quality. I'm surprised there wasn't any bleed through on the paper because it's not super thick, but yeah, I would highly recommend this as like calligraphy practice or, you know, stuff like I'm doing here. It's good. So let's get on with the how-to. Now you might want to start out by swatching all the colors in the order they came just to see what you're dealing with and to help you sort your categories. Or you can kind of go off of the ones that I've given you here, but I would actually really recommend that you do this. Otherwise you can grab things out by how you think the categories will be. Like your grays, maybe you don't care to have warm and cool grays, you can just grab all the grays. And all your flesh tones or pinks or however you want to categorize it. You don't have to use my categories. It's just you want to have color groups. So whether you put all the pinks and reds together or whatever, it's fine. So I have labels on some of these, but you can just ignore those. Once you have your categories and you're happy, I do recommend doing little like test sheets. I actually did that in another notebook over and over again and over and over because I wanted them to be right. So yeah, a lot can go into getting your categories and your orders right. Just saying. But you don't have to use my categories. You can use whatever you want. And there's a little dot of bleed there. This is just a 5-star notebook. Again, bright yellow, but there is bleed. It's not as awesome as this. There's some ghosting that I would even use this as a bullet journal. I like it a lot. So, okay, once you have your categories, what you're gonna do is get everything in order, like I showed you doing the swatches, make sure you like the order. Then you're going to mark down what the heck they are. So that's where you take your Sharpie or permanent, whatever. This, geez, I got this secondhand from my dad. I think it's a Bic something, but it actually works really well. I've used this on a lot of things. I recommend it if you can figure out what it is. And then after you mark your designation on there and your number, that's where the tape comes in. So I can't really do this well with one hand, I don't think. Okay, I totally failed at doing that with one hand. You want to get like a little tab about like this, cut it off, and place it over top of your label. You probably can't see it too well, but there is in fact tape on there, so this will not wear off as you're using it in your hand or if you're putting it in and out of loops on a pen case. So that's step one. And you could do this all, I did them all first, got everything labeled, made sure that it didn't have any mess ups there, and then phase two, I will show you. Phase two, rip off a sheet of paper, which you're gonna cut up, and then this was where I made I'm making my full one-page quick and easy view, because right now it's on 2 pages. So I'm going down the line. So next is flesh tone. So I'm going to grab my flesh tone 1. Gonna mark out 4 squares, and I'm just gonna start up at the top here. And what I was doing is just doing them all at once, but I'm not gonna make you sit through that. So once I get my row, I would call this F01. I used zeros on the light color. Again, that's kind of a Copic marker thing, Copic marker, whatever. And so yeah, once you get a row of these, then you're gonna cut them out. And then what you do is you put another little tab of tape, like that, on your little, I don't know, color swatch, and then you just tape it on there. So now you have both, and that's it. So it takes some time and effort, but I swear to you that this will be faster in the long run because of all the time you save when you're trying to pick colors. This just makes it really easy. If the caps matched the marker colors better, at least to show which ones are darker or lighter than others, I would not be doing this because it's not exactly my go-to idea for a weekend to be doing this. But yeah, I know that this will make things less crazy. I can pick colors a lot faster when I start filling in my bullet journal or, you know, just drawing and experimenting. So I hope that me beating my head against a wall to figure out a really good system will help you, because you don't have to. All you have to do is put in the work. If you found this helpful, please remember to like and subscribe.